Hello, good morning. I'm Wilson Tan. I'm the KPI consultant for SME companies. Today, I'm going to talk about the topic of how do we decide the salary increment. Do you decide your salary increment based on the performance? Do you decide your salary increment based on number of years the employee worked for you? Some people using the number of years that he or she worked for you, then you have the increment every year. When a account staff work for you for 20 years, his or her salary can be higher paid than your manager. We should not decide the employee's salary based on the number of years that he or she works for you. You also should not decide the salary increment based on the performance alone. If you have increased a staff salary based on the performance this year, what if next year the employee don't perform? You cannot reduce the salary. What are you going to do? Don't worry, I will show you step by step how to do this. Before you decide, you have to look at your compensation philosophy. Do you want to be a market leader, or you want to match the market, or you want to pay below the market rate? There's no right or wrong. It is what you believe for your company to move forward here. Some companies, they may not have budget to pay above the market rate. Some companies, they do not have the financial strength to match the market. Step 2, you need to look at your business model. There is one of the good method that you can use to develop your business model, or you look into your current business model. The business model canvas will help you to analyze your business, what kind of activities you have, what kind of people you need. Then from there, you look at your org chart. Based on the business model that you have to analyze your org chart. You have to think whether your existing org chart can support your business model. What kind of people you need. Then the next step you need to do is to do job analysis. You need to understand each position in your organization. What kind of knowledge you need? What kind of skills that you need? What are the work activities? What are the behavior that you expected from the employees? What are the job responsibilities? The communication with internal and external. What is their performance standard? What is the financial budget? The working conditions, the working environment, and the reporting structure. If your company has more than 100 employees, you will need to group them into job family. For example, you group by administrative functions, you group by technical, management, and executive. Then you will have a different pay grade system for different job family. But for the SME, smaller than 100 employees, you may not need to do this. The next step is to do the job evaluation. There are two methods here. One using a point method, another one using a ranking method. But for point method, it is quite complex, usually used for the large organizations. For SME, you can use the ranking method. When you do point method job evaluation, you are looking at the different job grade. For example, you have a job grade 1, 2, 3, and 4, and so on. Job grade 1 may be for the director level. Job grade 2 may be for the top level management. For each particular job grade, you may have a sub-job grade depending on the size of your organization. As I mentioned, this point method job evaluation is for very large organization. You are using competency, problem solving, accountability, and working condition to calculate the points for each particular job grade. From each job grade, once you calculated the points based on the competency, problem solving, accountability, working condition, you will be able to decide the salary for each particular job grade. For each particular job grade, you set the minimum salary, the midpoint, and the maximum salary. Don't worry about the point method to calculate the salary range for each job grade. It is too complex for SME. For SME, what we can do is we also have to come up with the job grade. Usually SME, when you are less than 100 employees, you can have around 4 to 5 job grades depending on your org chart. Then for each job grade, you list down what are the responsibilities required to perform that particular job within that job grade, and what are the competency required, what are the leadership skill required. From here, then you set the minimum salary, the midpoint salary, and the maximum salary. So once you have your salary range in place, you should implement it across the organization. And now, next thing is, before you conduct any salary increment, you have to look at the performance band. For each employee, whether they are excellent performer, they're meeting your expectation, their threshold below expectation, or they fail their KPI. Your starting point is you fill in this table here. You fill in the percentage increment that you should give for those employees under the minimum range, midpoint, and the maximum salary here. Then the final step, what you need to do is you look at some of the factors here. You look at your current employee's salary. Then you look at the increment grade system that you developed just now. And what are other factors such as performance score, competency score, how competent is the employee to perform the job, their attitude, the market inflation rate, the position critical level. You have a high, medium, and low, meaning that how critical is this position for your company? What if you lose this employee, you lose the person doing the job? What happened to your company? How about the candidate availability? Are you able to replace this candidate easily? Is it difficult, medium, or easy? How about your company performance? So these are some of the factors that you should take into consideration when you decide the actual salary increment percentage. Thank you for watching this video. If you find this video is useful for you, can you please share with your friends and also follow our Facebook page. Thank you and see you again soon.